this love. Yeah, I gotta keep it trendy on my soul. I'm the most selfish person that I know. Here we go, down the rabbit hole. Got a couple carrots around my neck, self-respect.
And we're live. Welcome back to Mescaline Moguls. It's your boy, the one with the scar on his face, your boy Scarface. And I want to thank you guys again for joining. I know I thank you guys on every podcast, but that's because I really do, truly do appreciate you guys. You guys are amazing. You guys are awesome. You guys support the podcast. You guys support the TikToks. You guys support just your boy, okay? So I'm extremely grateful, and I always want to thank you guys in the beginning of the episodes. That way, you know, there's no, you know, not enough thank yous to let you guys know how thankful I am of, you know, what you guys do and things like that. So, anyways, thank you guys for joining. And if you guys want to support the podcast, you know, leave a review on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you're listening to. Give us a thumbs up, give us a 5-star, whatever you can do. It means the world to me. Share it with your friends and things like that. And those that want to continue to support on the, what's it called? It's linked in my bio. You can go on there and donate every month. Shout out to the people who continue to donate monthly. I appreciate you guys. You guys motivate me even more just because I'm able to buy more equipment for the podcast. You know, I'm working on a set for it. So I'm working on that. Okay, working on a set, but thanks to you guys that support the podcast. And if you guys want to get pins, you know, we also sell pins. Our company's called Prolific. You know, I have like the little Goku right here. I always wear on my hat. You guys, I think I have it over here. And then I also have, so we have a sleeping Goku, a baseball that has dingers on it. It says dingers. And then the straight edge razor for all the barbers and just everybody out there. It's cool. We have more coming out, so stay tuned. Everything is going to be linked in the bio. So today's episode, I wanted to get into just actions. You know what I mean? Actions, because the biggest thing that I've seen on a lot of these TikToks, questions, and so on and so forth, and people always asking, like, what if he does this? What if he does that? A guy's action says so much more than what anything they can say. Like, if they're into you, they're going to do whatever it takes to, continue to court you, continue to get your attention, to keep your attention, and things like that. If he's not into you, like I can tell you right now, be like, hey, girl, you're the love of my life. I'm gonna do this, this, and this. You know, I'm gonna treat you like a queen. But then his actions state otherwise. Communication sucks. Really doesn't want to see you. Really doesn't initiate things, plans things for you, or anything like that. Then come on. Again, I can tell you whatever I want. What are my actions telling you? You know, what are my actions telling you? Are my actions telling you that I'm interested? You know, if you have to question it, or if you want to trust your gut feeling at the end of the day, because your gut feeling does not lie. You know, there's been so many times where I'm like, fuck, I should have just listened to my gut feeling, you know, and now I kind of do. Just because even though, like, if my gut feeling is telling me something I don't want, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, no, I think I should be fine, but your gut feeling is like, nah, come on, man, you know. So, ladies, if you guys are listening, you guys need to pay, and even fellas, you know, if the girl's not into you, bro, like, she's gonna give you hints, tell you straight up, give you signals, and sometimes they're being honest. You know, some guys don't know how to take a no, or, you know, I'm not interested, meaning they'll become really petty. They'll block them. They'll say stupid stuff. They'll say petty stuff. You know, their ego gets hurt. So that's a big thing, fellas. Like, not every girl's going to say yes. Not every girl is going to reject you either, you know. So don't get upset if, like, a girl's not into you, because some girls are just not into you, and there's nothing you can do about it. They're just not attracted to you, or they're just not feeling you in that type of way, and that's fine. There's going to be girls out there that are into you, and same for the ladies. You know, if a guy's treating you like crap, there's a guy out here that's going to treat you like a queen. So why would you put up with somebody that's treating you like crap, when there's a guy out there that's going to do whatever they can to court you, to treat you great, to help you feel amazing? And, you know, like, and sometimes it sucks because when you're in it, you don't even know when you're in it, like in a bad situation. You think everything's going to be great or something if you behave better, you know, those narcissist guys. But no, like, I just did a question. It's not going to be posted yet, but there was a a girl that was asking a question about her man, saying like, I keep bringing this up, I keep telling him, and he says, oh, I'm gonna work on it. Oh, I'm gonna work on it. So depending on how long that's been, like, how long is it gonna take you to work on that? You know, like, what's the issue? Obviously, if it's over a longer period of time, you're really not working on it. You're really not putting in any effort. It's so much easier for us to be, oh, I'll work on it. Oh, you know, like, I'll change. Oh, I'll do this. But then how many times have you heard your man say that? You know, it's but we want to see the good in people. Even like guys want to see the good in girls or the certain situation that they're in. So I get it. You want to see the good in that person. You're like, oh, maybe this is just like a little rough patch that we're going through. Everything is going to be better. No, if you guys aren't making the necessary steps to make your situation better, meaning like if you guys are married, maybe some counseling, some help, therapy, whatever the case may be, like figure before it gets worse. If you guys are having issues and then it's just going to get worse, you know, it's not going to get better. Whoever says, oh yeah, it's going to get better over time. No, things only progressively get worse and worse and worse. And to a point where it's just absolutely nobody's happy. The relationship, you just can't do anything. It's not fixable anymore. Like it's been damaged so bad that nobody wants to be in the relationship. And that's when people end up getting divorced or separating and stepping outside of the marriage, cheating, you know, doing all sorts of stuff because it got to that point. So if you guys are having issues, it's better to, I'm the type of dude that I don't like to go to bed upset. I don't like to do like, I'd rather talk it out before anything because I'd rather go to sleep at night knowing that we talked about it and we attempted to fix the situation or talk about the situation. Going to sleep upset, you're just going to wake up upset, you know, and then the next day it's just going to be even worse. But if you guys took the time and be like, you know what? Let me talk to him. Let me like, let's end on a good note or let's talk about the situation. That's something that I really do try to do is I try to talk. If there's an issue, I refuse to go to bed before that issue is fixed, you know, because again, it just gets worse the next day. You know, some people think, oh, it'll get better the next day. No, it's going to get worse the next day. That's why I'd rather sit and talk and figure out what the issue was in the beginning, or even not in the beginning, but before going to bed. So like, but that also comes with maturity because I was never like that before. I was never like, oh, let's fix this. Oh, let's talk about it before we go to bed. Let's do this. You know, I was never like that. It just takes time, you know, learning from your past mistakes when you didn't do that, the next day, it was just worse. It wasn't better. That's why I always try to like put guys on game, put girls on game. You know, all the episodes do really well because, you know, you get to learn from a guy's perspective, and we've also had the girls on here. You get a girl's perspective too, you know. So it's just hard. But the biggest thing here is the actions. Like I know you like it when a guy tells you this, a guy tells you that, but they can tell you whatever you want to hear. Like that's the thing that I'm trying to get across here. A guy's gonna tell you anything you want to hear. But is he doing those actions? Is he putting the work, the effort into those same things that he said? You know, like, is he doing anything like that? Because again, any guy can tell you anything, that they're going to treat you like a queen, that, you know, this and that, they're going to treat you amazing. It's all going to be great and dandy. They're going to fix the situation. They're going to change. But there's no actions. There's no effort. There's nothing that you can see that's seeing that they want to change. Or they'll change for a little bit, you know. I was one of those guys too that, oh, like, I don't like this. And I'm like, oh, I'll change. I changed for like a week, a month. You guys seen it. And then all of a sudden it goes right back to the same situation. And then you're right back. It's that same cycle over and over and over. And it's so tiring. It's so exhausting. Like now looking back, I'm just like, fuck, you know, like I should have just either fixed it or like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like after I start talking about some of these things, I start realizing a lot of things that I was doing wrong before too. You know, not a lot of guys would admit like things they do wrong. Kind of like on the episode that I did on the love languages. I didn't realize one of my ex that I was with for a long time, one of her things was quality time. She likes this would like to spend time together, but we were together almost all the time. And I confused us being together all the time as quality time, if that makes sense. Like we would be working, but on our computers, or I'd be on my computer and like watching TV. So technically we were there in the same room, but just distracted with other things. Um, Instead of me, and like she kept complaining, saying like, oh, I don't give her any time. And we would have the argument. I'm like, girl, I'm with you like all the time, uh, like, what do you mean we don't spend any time? But I didn't realize that she wanted to watch a TV show with no phones, no distractions, wanted to go to the movies, wanted to have date night with no distractions, not a business lunch, nothing like that. Just her and I there spending time with each other. And now I realize that after a while, but before, when you're in the moment, you're just like, what are you talking about? You're tripping over something that's really not you shouldn't be tripping about. And you tend to, like, I don't know what word, but I started realizing a lot of things that I would do like that. If I would have just changed that and took even like a few hours a day, made sure we had a date night every week, and things like that, it could have probably went different. You never know, maybe it wouldn't have fell apart. But I mean, there's nothing you can do now. You can't sit here and dwell on it. All you can do is sit here and learn from your past mistakes, where you fucked up, and how you can change that in the future, like to whoever you're talking to next, uh, so I think that was a big lesson for me, and especially with my actions. My actions were saying different when I was, I wasn't really into it anymore. That's why, like, if you guys start having issues in the beginning, that's something I did learn. If you guys start having issues in the beginning of whatever the case may be, bring it up. Don't wait. Don't wait until it gets worse. Don't wait until if something bugged you, bring it up. That way they can fix it. Because I said it on a TikTok before. Like, a lot of you girls, or even on the podcast with Jackie, a lot of girls have a lot of power. You guys just don't realize it. In the beginning of like when you're talking to somebody or a relationship or anything like that, if I do something and you don't like it, tell me. Because if I'm into you, I'm like, oh shit, like I ain't gonna do that. Because she didn't like that and I don't want her to leave or like not want to, see where this goes. So, bring it up. Tell them. Say something. Don't let it get worse and worse and worse, because it's not going to get better if you just let it get worse and worse. Or if you guys, even people who've been in relationships for a little bit, like if you guys have issues, bring them up, get them fixed. Don't wait, because it just leads to a worse relationship, and then it's going to be harder to fix, and at that point, one of the two might not want to fix it anymore because they're just completely done, or it's to the point where they're just comfortable being together. You've seen these people who are just comfortable being together that do not like being with each other at all. So, fellas, let's treat the ladies like queens, okay? If you guys having issues with them too, bring it up. Shit, like bring it up. I'm not saying this is just one-way street. No, if you guys have an issue with the girl, something, bring it up, and that's something I'm trying to become better at too. Like if I don't like something, I try to bring it up, I try to talk about it, just because some guys will just not bring it up, and then all of a sudden like it's bugging them, but they didn't tell anybody or the person, and it continues to bug them and bug them and bug them, and it's going to affect other parts of the relationship too. Like the girl may not know that bugged them, but you just let it slide essentially. But no, it stays inside of you, and like it bugs you for a while. That's why I always, communication is a big thing. And some people struggle. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm still trying to work on my communication and talking to people and voicing my opinions and stuff like that. So I'm working on my stuff too, and I'm working on my actions. Whoever I'm talking to, whoever I want to be with, I want to make sure that they know and they can feel that I want to be with them, instead of just like assuming like. And also, if I say something, I got to make sure I put that into like actions as well, because again, I could just be like one of these other guys who like, hey, I'm gonna treat you like a queen. I'm gonna this and that, but then they don't do that. Like none of their actions say that. It says otherwise. So that's something that I really try to focus on, because what kind of guy would I be if I'm over here preaching this stuff and I don't even do it? You know. So that's why I make it. I try pretty hard, not pretty hard, but like I make sure that I also take my own advice, if that makes sense. You know, because some people will sit on social media and they give all this advice, or they talk about certain situations and they don't even do it. You know, they don't even do it. But no, not me. Like if I want to, you know, especially like I want to be someone who can motivate people, inspire people, I got to make sure that I also follow my own advice. Okay. Like that's a big thing, just because I want people to be like, oh, this is what he said. And he actually does it. He actually talks. He actually does this, that, you know, and make sure that, because sometimes there's something that you don't want to hear, or like you don't want to admit that like something's going wrong, or somebody's not into you, or anything like that. And you'll act like you'll let red flags go by. You'll let things start becoming very blurry, if that makes sense. And then eventually get to the point where like, fuck, like I should have just listened to myself. But, you know, it's because you didn't want to listen to your own advice. If you preach something to somebody, you know, I better hope that you also, you know, take your own advice when you're doing something. Because again, there's a lot of people out here who give a bunch of advice and don't, you know, do what they say, essentially. So I wanted to talk about a little bit about that, like actions, just because, again, pay attention to your man's actions. Pay attention to a guy you're talking to's actions. Pay attention. If he's hot and cold, nope, girl. Like if he's communication sucks, nope. If they don't want to see you, nope. You know, like we have to, like, it may suck. Again, it may suck. Being like, oh, like, why isn't he into me? Or why isn't she into me? Like, if they're not, they're not. You know, we shouldn't be trying super duper, like chasing hard. Of course, the guy is supposed to be doing a little bit more of the courting, but the girls should also be putting in effort. Like if she likes this guy, you know, like that's what shows me is if somebody's into me too. Like if they're putting in some effort too, then okay, I see it. But if I'm doing everything, I usually check out. Like, I'm just being honest. I usually just check out, because I'm like, fuck this. You know, like, I feel like it's a one-way street, and it shouldn't be a one-way street. Like, it can be like 80-20, okay, or something like that. But if it feels like it's just one way, then yeah, I'm absolutely out. So I wanted to touch on that. And I also wanted to touch on just where I'm at, like, overall. And what I mean by that is, like, I've been putting in a lot of work. Like hustling, grinding for years, like doing this, doing that. And, you know, you get to a point where things just start opening up. That's why I always try to push people, like, just start doing something now. Like, even if a few years ago, if you told me that I was going to be like filming a bunch of real estate right now and, you know, potentially a lot more in the future, I'd be like, you know, I don't think so. You know what I mean? Like, you know, and there's these other doors that are also opening up that I really don't want to say anything yet until it actually happens. But there's like a bunch of things going on, and I'm like, I get that imposter syndrome where like, how the fuck did I get here? You know, like how? You know, should I even be here? Like, am I in over my head? Like, what's going on here? But then like, I was thinking about it the other day, and I was just like, damn, like I been hustling for a while. Like putting in long days, long nights, grinding here and there. People are always like, damn, do you ever have time to do anything else? Like you're always doing this, you're always doing that. For example, yesterday, that's why I feel like I have a fucking hangover today. We had photos for a wedding. I rented out the mirror booth, and I rented out my 360 booth. You know, shout out to everybody who, you know, the whole squad, the team, you know, out there hustling. I was trying to get them to book video too, but it was a little bit out of their price range. So it's fine. So like in the morning, I woke up, ran a quick 6 miles, went to the wedding. I stayed at the wedding until from 1:30 to 6. And then shout out to Jesus. He came from 6 to 10 to take over while I ran over to a different event center to run the mirror booth just because I didn't have anyone with that. And then Diamond, he kept telling me all the time. Diamond was like, hey, hit me up. I'm ready to like hustle. Like whenever you need something, like let me just know. Like let me know. So I hit him up super last minute, same day. I'm like, hey bro, like I'm doing this. You want to come help out? And he's like, yeah, let's do it. He went with me. My little brother and my brother-in-law, they went to an event down in Rexburg. You know, and I remember before I even got the photo booths, right? I was like, fuck, what if nobody rents them? What if nobody rents them? And now we're just like booked like crazy. Just because I did, again, just because you buy something doesn't mean it's gonna rent out. It's gonna be like sought out after. And my thing was like, I'm pretty good at marketing. I'm pretty good at social media. I'm pretty good at promoting stuff. And so like the first year that I got it, I was like, I'm gonna charge less just because I want people to book it. Like that was the biggest thing. I wasn't making too much money off of them. I was like, I just want people to book. I just want people to book and book and book. That way people can see like what it is. And now this year, because, you know, I did that last year. And now this year, people are just like, oh, okay, yep, I'll take it. Oh, yep, I take it. You know, and now it's getting to the point where like people are like, oh, like you only have that one, meaning like we're booked out that day, but unfortunately I don't have more. I could get more. That's the thing. But getting more is not the fixing the problem. Finding people to work them is the hard part, you know, because people always say they want to work, but they don't want to work, you know, and it's hard for me to trust some people. But regardless, that's growing. The business is growing. The TikTok is growing. The social media is growing. Like everything is growing, and all these doors are opening up. Like these conversations that I'm having with these certain people that want to do like certain type of business. And I'm just like, how in the fuck did I get here? You know, like kind of like I said earlier, but then I really sat down and I'm like, damn, I've been hustling, you know? That's why like, if you guys listening, anybody listening, like if you want to start something, just start it. You know, the longer you wait, the longer it's not going to happen, you know? And then the longer and be open to change. I always tell that to people. When I first started, I thought I was going to be a YouTuber, a shoe tuber to be exact. I'm far from that now, you know, but that started me down a path that eventually is to this point, you know. Now I'm just like, holy fuck. Like I look around my studio and I'm like, this all started because I wanted to be a shoe tuber and not wanting to work a labor 9-to-5 job. Like I did not want to do that. That shit was not fun. Okay. But now I look around, I'm like, fuck, like I have all this. Like this was all built from that initially. That's why I said like, now I'm far from a shoe tuber. Now it's like I do the TikToks, the podcast. I have my media company, and you know I have my other investments that I haven't. But that all started from somewhere, and that's why I say like start something now, because even if it changes up a little bit, you have to change. The world's always changing, so you have to change with it. If an opportunity comes along, say like for example, you're also doing media. You have a camera, you're doing like photos. You're originally just a hobby thing, right? And then someone's like, oh, can you take photos of this? And you're just like, oh, well, I'll do this much because I'm still learning. And then all of a sudden they like it, and then they book you again. Somebody else books you for the same thing, and all of a sudden like you start going. But originally it was just a hobby because you wanted to take pictures of like landscape or something, right? But now you're taking pictures of this, and this, and you're getting better at it, and like people are coming to you, and all of a sudden like it starts turning into a side hustle, into a business, you know? That's why, but now, I mean, shit, I do like product photos. I do a bunch of stuff now compared to, like I said, I just wanted to make shoe YouTube videos and that was it. And now that's far from it. Like product photos, like commercial photos, you name it, like so on and so forth, like all the stuff that's going on. Photos and video for weddings and quintas and stuff like that, renting out photo booths, like all sorts of stuff going on. And that all started from somewhere. So, you know, I really wanted to kind of explain how, well, not how, but like overall where I was at. Meaning like I'm extremely grateful to the point that I've gotten to, you know. I'm extremely grateful because I realized how much work I've been putting in. And I still, don't get me wrong, it's not like I stopped, okay? Hell no, not even close. You know, even to this day, people are like, what the fuck are you doing? Yesterday when I was doing that, I was doing the wedding, and there were some people there who went to the other quince, and he was like, dude, what? Weren't you over there? I was like, yeah, I got my guy finishing up over there. I came over here, and I was like, oh, and then I got my brother out in Rexburg. You know, they're hustling out there. And he's like, damn. He's like, you're fucking killing it out here, bro. And right then he's like, my daughter's going to have a quince and stuff. He's like, give me your information. He's like, I need you guys. He's like, I need you guys because you guys are hustling. You guys are grinding. Like, we look professional. We bring a lot to the table. You know, of course, we're not cheap, because our equipment isn't cheap, our experience isn't cheap. So, you know, with that comes a cost, you know, and I always tell people, like, when you get to a certain point, there's people who will pay you what you have as your price, and there's people who are not going to pay you because they say it's too expensive. Am I going to be, and don't budge either. Don't budge being like, oh, well, this is the price, but, you know, since you only can do it for this much, I'll do it for this much. No. Absolutely not. I'm just like, all right, well, that's fine. This is our price. And I'm sure you can find somebody at that price. But unfortunately, it's not going to be us because it's a lot of work, you know, and people still book us. You know, I had that conversation with John. He's the one that helps me with video. I was like, they're still going to book us. Like, if they like the quality and see what we can do, they will still book us. You know, no, we're not going to. Yes, we can charge a lot less and be booked out every fucking weekend. Or we can charge a lot more and be booked out once a week. Or not once a week, but once a month, and still make a lot more, you know. But that's not the case. We're booked like crazy, which is funny. You know, because there's a demand for what we provide, and, you know, but it takes time. Again, I want people to realize this all takes time. So you need to put in that time and effort, that work, the hustle, the work for free. You're going to work a lot for free in the beginning. I'm just telling you that right now. If you're charging people off the top and your quality sucks, trust me, you're going to go the opposite way, quick. You know, there's somebody who I know should not be charging what she's charging right now because the quality is definitely not there. But again, you know, everybody's different. Everybody's different. People, I mean, the reason I say that is because they bring the content that she did and they want me to fix it, and I'm just like, nah, you should have just came to me. Like, I don't have time to fix it, you know. So that was my biggest thing, that I want to push you guys to actually get up and do something, whatever the case may be. You never know, and all of a sudden it turns into a full-on business. And now, again, it's weird how, yes, I do work, but it's not like a dreading job. It's not like, oh, shit, I got to go do this. Ah, fuck, I got to go do that. No. I'm like, all right, I'm doing this. We got to get this done. We got to make this happen, you know, and it's a whole different feeling. Then, oh, fuck, it's Monday. Got to go to work to this job that I don't love. You know what I mean? So, anyways, I don't want to keep you guys too long. This one's is going to be a little bit shorter. I was still working on trying to get this live podcast. I'm trying to finish the set that I'm trying to make right over here. That way we can have something a little bit nicer, a little bit more eye-pleasing, maybe, something like that. I don't know. But anyways, thank you guys for listening. Give us a 5-star. This one is a little bit shorter, but hey, it's Father's Day today. I'm going to go hang out with my pops right now. So anyways,
when you out of line, you put yourself in check.